So bounce testing is one of the most important parts of aid climbing because it's what makes each placement feel safe, one after another. Without bounce testing, you never know how good the pieces are. You're not sure if you're setting yourself up for a potentially really dangerous fall. So knowing that each piece is good and then moving on to the next, very important. Two ways to do it. One is aider bounce testing. That's where you've clipped into the piece and you're on your feet and you're basically shifting your weight from, in this case, my left foot, the bottom piece, to the right foot, my top piece, and you're bouncing it on your foot. And there's basically three styles or three levels of bounce testing. The first one is you're just giving it a little tug, and that's when you're just making sure it's not going to pop out instantly. And if it's a really bomber C1 placement like this is, that's probably enough. But when you get into harder terrain, you want to step it up to the second level, which is really giving it your full weight, at the same time trying to make sure you can keep your weight in the bottom one in case this one pops. And then the third level is where you're trying to really generate a small fall. And the only way to do that is for it to start looking really violent and to really be jumping up and down pretty much harder than you think. So there's aider bounce testing, the three styles, and then there's daisy chain bounce testing. Daisy chain bounce testing, you put your fifi as high as you can in the daisy. You then kind of center yourself on the lower piece and you start bouncing again, going through the three levels, like one, making sure it's just not going to pull out right away, two, kind of giving it your full weight, and then three, really bouncing hard. Generally, daisy bounce testing is what you use on harder aid because it's easier to generate a lot of force, and if this piece blows when you're daisy bounce testing, you're going to be ready and centered to then evenly transfer your weight back onto the lower piece. That's a lot harder to do when you're on your aider in bounce testing. So those are the two styles of bounce testing. Work on them a lot, and on easier terrain, less important. When you get into the hard terrain, it's what makes A3 or A4 doable and semi-safe versus really dangerous.